today. Thank you, professors. Thank you, board of advisors, to be a part of this event today. Now my team will start presenting the project. It's Attendance team. I just want to say some words about this group. This group, from the start to the end, it proved to be a very professional group. They learned so fast, and I really appreciate all the work they have done. So, guys, this is your work.
Hello everyone, good morning. My name is Hanson Cruz. I'm the project leader for this team.
I'm Christopher, I'm the software lead.
I'm Mohammed K, and I'm the hardware and electrical team. I'm Mohammed B, and I was the web developer for this project.
And I'm Todd, I'm a hardware design for this project.
We're very excited to present our project. Basically, we have a smart desk. It's called AcaDesk. It's short for Academic Technology, our team. And basically, we seek to automate mediocre tasks that are in the classroom. And it's fully packed with many features, and it's capable of much more. We're honored to be supervised by Dr. Sultan. She was a great mentor to us, and she led us to this point. So here's a few points of what motivated us to do this project in particular. So first of all, there's a lot of mediocre tasks in the classroom today that we wish to automate and make better. Today's classroom hasn't really fully adapted to the potential of technology. Parents are often worried about their child's status within schools. Often they don't know whether they're in school or not, or whatever's going on in the classroom. So like I said before, we wish to automate many of these tasks and make the classroom experience a lot better.
We developed the AcaDesk to sort of mitigate these issues and basically improve efficiency in the classroom. So at the center of our project are two major components. We have the student desk, which allows students to log in with a swipe of an RFID card, which automatically logs them into the attendance system, displays their schedule. It allows them to automatically enter the bathroom queue so they don't have to ask the professor to get online. And we have the admin web application, which allows the teacher to log in and basically take more control of their classroom by allowing them to see attendance for the class, the bathroom queue, gather more information in general about their class, and have a live update of who's attending and who's not. There's also an FAQ page to answer any questions that they might have. And this picture basically demonstrates the system that we have put in place.
So for the market analysis of this product, we had already gauged the competitors before we started choosing it. So the competitors that were considered when developing AcaDesk were Stir, the kinetic desk, which is $3,500, Flip-It19, which is $1,600. As we can see, both of these products suffer from similar problems, which is an astronomically high price, no appeal in the academic environment, and they're also not connected to a larger system, which means their functionality is basically very limited, and it cannot be further improved in the future.
In terms of risk, there are potential risks that we have to consider when developing this project. One is user injury. We're dealing with an academic environment, so we're talking about children. Potentially high cost when developing something this technologically advanced. Component failure. With all of the hardware components we put in, one of them are bound to fail. And not enough features for the minimum viable product. We want our product to thrive when it enters the market, so we want to put enough features that it's appealing to everyone. In order to manage these risks, there are a few steps that we took. We injury-proof the desk so that there are no sharp edges. We stick to low production costs. partly due to our budget limitations, but also in keeping in mind that schools will have to buy hundreds of these at a time. We perform rigorous testings to see where the failures may happen and receive feedback from our peers and potential users.
Here are some of the pictures of the desk itself. There's a secret compartment inside which houses all the computer, the Raspberry Pi, the battery and the wiring, and it will only be accessible by the technician. So the kids, they won't be able to access it. It's kind of like a safety feature as well. The screen is at the top, and it also has a power saver functionality as well. And we use a variety of different tools to drill the hole inside of the desk so that the display can be housed inside. So we chose Raspberry Pi Model 3A Plus. The reason was because it had Wi-Fi and Bluetooth capability, as well as the power was built in. The power efficiency was very good. So we are now able to power the desk for a longer period of time. The RFID is used to scan the student's ID whenever they log in the system, and it will display their attendance, their GPA, and other stuff on the screen. And we use a Raspberry Pi compatible 7-inch capacitive touch screen and 30,000 milliamps battery, which is inside the desk, and it is not accessible by the student. It takes around 4 hours to fully recharge the battery, which is inside. And with the power saver options, the screen time of the screen itself is around 31.5 hours. Because safety is important, because we are dealing with middle and elementary school students. Therefore, we included a number of safety features which was already present in the battery. So the battery already includes protection for overheat, overcharge, overcurrent, over-discharge, and short-circuit protection. And one desk can be used to charge other desks. So if you have one desk and there are other desks, because there are multiple desks in a classroom, you can use just one desk to charge other desks with the splitter that we have inside.
So our desk software is powered by Python and Qt. Essentially what happens is that the desk connects to the server via TCP socket. Once that connection is made, the RFID tag number is sent to the server, and the server is able to take that number and create a database so we can send back the relevant data for that desk. The desk app receives data and displays it on the embedded screen, so the student will be able to see things like their schedule and upcoming tests at home.
So for the teacher web application, we chose like a sleek and modern looking design. So the teacher web app was built using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Ajax, and Python Flask on the back end.
We're using a very secure user authentication. So as you can see at the bottom of the screen, it's using a SHA-256-bit encryption. So the way it's stored in the database, it's not in clear text, it's encrypted. So we're using very secure software.
So one of the features of the admin web app is that the teacher can dynamically view an attendance list of their entire class. So this can be changed for multiple classes. For example, if the teacher has 2 classes, she can see the attendance list at any time of the day for both of the classes. So the green bar next to the image of the student, that means that the student was present, and the red bar means that the student was absent.
On the desk, the student can request to join a restroom queue system. So basically they'll go ahead, they'll press a button on the desk, and their name will come up on the queue. And then the teacher can then come, click on the bathroom queue tab, and view who's on the current queue.
So another feature of the admin web app is that if a certain student is not present within a specific amount of time, an automatic email will be sent to the parent, so the email address is stored in the database. So the email will highlight that the student was not absent, and then give a contact number if the parent wants to take any further action.
On the teacher web app, there's a tab for statistics. So the teacher can come in quickly type up an ID number and easily query out that student and see all the statistics regarding that student.
So while making this web app, we wanted to use engineering best practices. And one of them is that the product has to be as easy to use as possible. So we included an FAQ page, so if the user might have any typical questions, they can easily view them. Or if they have any further questions, they can actually fill out a form and send the request directly to us, and we can get back to them with the answer as soon as possible.
So on the back end, there are a few components that we needed in order to make this work. The main one is a TCP socket that's always listening from for requests from the desks. It can manage up to one connection at a time, but the relative speed of it allows it so that multiple can be sent and the data can be sent back in a relatively quick speed. The SQL database houses all the relevant information for the students. We have multiple different tables as shown in the picture up there. Automatic email distribution runs on a timer, so it can be configured by the school, but whatever the configured amount of time is, the emails are automatically sent out for absences at that time. And the attendance logs are automatically saved offline, so if the school has to access them, they can.
So for testing, we tried to follow pretty standard engineering standards. We made sure to test each individual unit of the program, as well as do integration testing. One of the most important parts of that, one of the most important parts of the integration testing was making sure that the Raspberry Pi was connecting properly with the server, and that the server was able to communicate properly. And then as well as acceptance testing, making sure that the server could take multiple devices at the same time, which is what we wanted to do, because we, our best image is that these desks will be in, every desk will have one of these in a classroom and through multiple classrooms. So we need to make sure that the servers, which will be hosted on the school servers, will be able to properly take in and respond to that many different desks coming at the same time, as well as some speed testing as well. So for project completion, future work, most of this is added features that we want to do, as well as just some quality of life changes, such as the school news feature, which is just have a rotating set of small little article features for the school that can be set up by the school itself, just as a way to keep students updated on what's going on in their school. Quiz feature where where the teacher will be able to set up questions, multiple choice questions that will come up on the student's desk, and they'll be able to answer those using buttons on the desk, and the teacher will get those responses in real time. As well as create a printed circuit board for button setup to use that. Come up with multiple language support to increase the number of places we can sell our product, as well as a charge time left indicator, just so that any staff can keep on top of how well the desks are staying charged and make sure that they're recharged when necessary.
So we put together a little video to highlight some of the features. There's a bit of a warning, it's a little jump scare at the beginning, it's kind of an accident. Please don't mind that. So to basically map out the timeline for this, so for the first 2 months, August and September, we spent that brainstorming to choose an idea. Between October and November, we did the research necessary to figure out if the project was feasible and how we would do it if we were to do it. Between December and January, we began preparing for our presentation by compiling all that research and methods into a digestible format. When we came back from break, it was time to begin development. So we began putting the theory into practice. We began configuring software, tools that we're going to use, and began development. We also began purchasing the hardware around this time. In March was the bulk of the development, so connecting the components, beginning the unit and integration testing, and beginning the desk modifications that you saw earlier. In April, we focused on refinement and finalization, so picking which features we were actually going to add to the product and finalizing those, constructing the desk, and preparing for this presentation.
So one thing we really prided ourselves on with this project is our low cost, and that's also one of our main differences between the competitors currently out there. Majority of the cost came from the desk and screen, and battery, but for the most part, we still only had a hardware production cost of $185.
These are some of the standards that we used in our development. So the ones on the left pertain to hardware. Most of them come from the Raspberry Pi 3, and the ones on the right pertain to software.
For ethics, obviously the most important part of this project is making sure that it's safe for the kids. We want our project to be both, we made sure there was no hard edges or anything like that on the project, as well as nothing that could easily shock the kids. We also want to make sure that our setup is durable enough to hold up to some of the brutal damage as to a young child can cause. Yeah.
These are our references, and we want to acknowledge our peers, Dr. Hussain for helping out with development, Dr. Yakos for being Dr. Yakos. Mr. Wayne provided us with some materials for the project, and we want to thank the entire department. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Practical questions, sorry. I'm not sure that you can protect against the kind of vandalism that I mean, because if you have a touch screen, that's an accident waiting to happen. I'm not being facetious. You're saying it's a practical matter. I also wondered, is the student allowed to change seats? Or do they have to stay in the same seat?
The student can actually change seats. One of the best parts about it is that because they scan in with the RFID scanner, they'll be able to sign into any desk.
So for the teachers, it would be good if the software could send out multiple quizzes to the students, so that all students don't have the same quiz.
We will consider that for version 2.0. Dr. Hamanai?
So I would like to say I love the project, and confirm that I'm a mom. So I would be happy to have the messages or emails come to me, keeping track of the attendance of my kids. I have 2 questions and 1 suggestion. Let me start with the suggestion. It would be great to add some kind of, let's say that the student, because we're dealing with the elementary school, the child forgot to scan his ID. So it would be nice if there's a sensor that sends someone in the seat, then it would bring a message reminder for the scanning the ID. The question is, first, how would you put the control, or how is the control in your app in order to not make this technology
Yeah, sorry. First of all, that's a great suggestion. One of our first ideas was actually to add a weight sensor to the bottom of the chair to kind of sense if someone's sitting on the chair, so we can get an idea of, if they're not signed in or not. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough time for that, so there's that. Maybe for the future desk, we can do something like that. As for the question, so one of the benefits of using the Raspberry Pi for this project is the software. So for the software, there's unlimited capability. We can add as many features as we want, right? So one of the ideas we actually have, Kokar kind of touched upon it, we have a power save feature, right? So basically the idea is that the HD display is not taking, it's not going to be consuming power because we're going to dim it out after about 5 to 10 minutes or a specified amount of time that the teacher can put. So let's say, class starts at 9 a.m. Okay, 10 minutes after class starts, we plan on dimming the display and, not being accessible until, some student wants to make, a bathroom request or something like that. But we plan on dimming the display so that it doesn't cause any distraction, like you said.
Maybe it comes with the suggestion, because what you're saying might, we are dealing with 25 example students during that class. So, activating and disactivating might be under the control of the teacher, rather than shut it down for a certain time, then turn it on for another certain time. Again, I want to say I like the project, and hopefully it will be implemented one day in our schools.
Yeah, thank you.
Alright, so I have two questions. One, I know that you said that you're using the Raspberry Pi to be fluctuate. What's the difference between the why did you use the 3D bus? Yeah.
So when we were deciding the hardware, we had to choose between which model we wanted. Essentially, we came to the decision that we wanted something that consumes as little power as possible, that still gets the job done. So the 3A only has one USB port on it, and it doesn't have Ethernet jack, because we would only need one USB port and we wouldn't need to connect to Ethernet. So as a result, because it has to power less components, it consumes less power. So we wanted to save power and basically making it a smaller package.
And my second question would be, how would this product be beneficial for a student with special needs?
I'll be honest, we didn't really consider that during our development, but we certainly will in the future.
Next question. How do you recharge the battery? If you were in a classroom environment, what do you do at the end of the day or something?
So you can use any computer cable to charge the desk. It's on the left side, the power in cable, and then you can remove it and you can place it in a compartment so it's not accessible by students.
I think if you want to see it later, we'll definitely show you. Got to kind of visualize it.
Just think as a practical matter,
Yeah.
it would be, are you going to have a custodian come in and level these?
That was basically the idea that we had.
After the school ends, because it has plenty of power to last throughout the day, so we can charge it overnight. Any other questions?
All right, thank you.